champions out here with this one. Let's jump in. One we haven't seen. All right. Well, there's at least a Poppy. I've had a chance to draft Poppy. I don't think the draft with the Poros really counts. Although I would love to get to try that again. The Poppy with the Poros deck. Not quite there with this though. And all right, so just whatever. Worry, like I've kind of like considered what you do with this like Poppy Shyvana, in the sense that like the dragons all tend to be smaller than or bigger than Poppy, but there's like a handful that really can still get this bonus. Like Shyvana can do it. Seeing like the 2/4s here seems pretty decent in that sense, and so these are probably okay. But then, like the big problem I have with these Poppy decks is they don't have any top end. Like the Bandle City top end just doesn't exist, and so you got to look towards Demacia anyways. And it's like, well, if we're doing that, then the dragons seem pretty decent, right? And then things like the Dragon Guard are fine, the 1/3 generated dragon's fine, and so I think Shyvana will play out okay here. All right, we gotta keep these cards cheap though, and I know what'll happen as soon as we take the Dragon Chow. It's just all the packs will just be dragon cards from this point forward. So let's at least take the Stone Stackers and the Keeper's Verdict and see if we can't keep this a little bit Poppy centric here. Okay, well, Proto Poro, not like really excited about, but this Arena Kingpin is just so incredibly good, even if we aren't getting bonuses from Poppy. The Honored Lord Vanguard Defender are quite strong. I don't think we'll be picking up too many like challenger cards. I'm sure we'll see confronts because that tends to be like the Shyvana centric way to get them. But this Kingpin I think is probably too good to pass up. All right, which one are you, Pompous Cavalier? I'm not a huge fan of this. I think this is just too high rolly to be particularly interesting. So are we? Are we finally going to do it? I don't want Dragon Chow though. It's like if we could pick up all of the other 2-drop dragon generators, I'd be okay with it. But it's like I don't want Yordles and Arms. Double tap is replaceable, right? We shouldn't have too much trouble finding the Demacia strike cards. And so I think just does push us down here to these other two. The Cavalier is bad in your opinion? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the idea of this. I'm also just not a huge fan of picking up Dragon Chow here. But I guess the research will be the one we're looking for. All right. More Arena Kingpins with Buster Shots. I can get behind that being a thing. Okay, so we're not going to be able to take advantage of the Gruff Grenadier. I guess we can just come out here and try to high roll it, but that doesn't seem too awesome. I think we're not as dragon centric as we'd like to be to pick up the Lieutenant and the Chow. So the Balladeers are quite good. The Lookout's going to be serviceable. Okay. I don't. If it was like a 3/4, I think I would have been okay with it. But like the Allegiance unit if he was a 3/4, but just having like that 4-mana thing, I guess I don't know. Hitting half the time is probably okay, but it doesn't feel that strong. If you're not reliably hitting the allegiances. But here, what was that? The 5-bucket LOR Guardian hated it. Well, I'm not like 100% sure how they have this stuff set up. I know there's two things with it, right? Like I did like go through and redo. It was like the weirdest timing for everything, and so like they had me go through and like redo all the buckets, and so like I did that. Like I went and re-rated everything, and then like they kind of like fell off the face of the earth, and so it was like I delivered the ratings, and we're just like getting to the point to where we needed to get them like integrated, and then they just fell off the face of the earth. And so like I get why these packs show up like this. Like the problem that they have with these packs are they didn't they like if everything's like rated on a scale of 0 to 100, kind of like the baseline for average should be 50. But instead of having like all of the new cards import at 50, so that they all just come in at average and then you can kind of fix it later, they imported all the new cards at 0. And so all of the new cards just basically have the worst rating in the game. And so that's why you see things like this playful pranks thing down here with the Epic and having a rating of 7. It's because the cards are all baseline 0 instead of baseline average. But anyways, that's why they look so bad. But down to the packs here, the Protege is absolutely fantastic in these Poppy decks. Can't ask for more than having a 2/4 Challenger. Boom, here's the good stuff. Getting the Yordle Smith and the Balladeers, that looks pretty good to me. Boop. Okay, here the things are starting to happen here. I gotta stay away from Bandle Gunners. Again, I think that we can get some reasonable stuff out of the kind of dragony top end. We're lacking top end at this point, but I think we can get something to turn up better than Bandle Gunners. Screeching Dragon is quite a good one in that sense. And so I would like this to be like the Dragon and the Dragon Guard. That would be pretty sweet, but I think these will be okay. Speaking of the Dragon Guard, he makes his appearance now. It's an absolutely fantastic way to show up. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. These are, oh man, I want all this stuff. Like the Tracker Egghead Researcher are the things that are just going to play the best towards play the best towards Poppy, but we got to take a removal spell. We haven't taken any removal up to this point, except for this one Buster Shot. So the Detain has to be our choice here. Okay. Well, I'm seeing the Yordle Smith. I think that's the way that we want to continue to go with these. Our top end is again, pretty light. I would like to pick up Cadrigen, but Dragon Chow's just so bad. And we could pick up the Travelers. Our curve is decent enough to support this. And it is technically another strike for the Fury cards. Fine. That feels wrong. It's like I just hate passing on the 2-cost units. All right, well here's the Stone Stackers with the Balladeers. I think that's okay. If we'd taken that like previous Yordle Smith, I'd feel much better. Excuse me about adding these Fleet Feather Trackers, but I think well we're gonna be getting a. It's just I know it feels like we're gonna have these games to where we don't do anything the first 2 turns because our curve starts on 3. And then at least the Balladeer is making the Owlcats kind of come in and fill in. So I think I'm okay with picking up the Balladeers. They do a little bit more curve fixing than some of these other cards. Okay, so Protoporo is pretty horrible. The Vanguard would be an upgrade. I don't think we ever trade out Double Tap. I think this is just a kind of a pure upgrade at the bottom as well, though. The lookout for the Lieutenant. How many dragons do we have? Got the 2 generators. The Shyvana is 1. Not enough to reliably hit this. Okay, let's pick up the Vanguard. Alrighty. Alright, Poppy. Let's see what you can do for us today. Oh. But yeah, all that talk of LOR Guardian, I hope somebody picks it up. Whether or not that's somebody buying their technology or somebody taking over the project. It's unfortunate that nobody else is really putting any time or effort into Expedition, and so it is nice that they at least have something there. Like the majority of the work, has to be done. So hopefully somebody can pick up that project and keep it going. All right, this is tough. I always run into this issue with the Yordle Squire where I kind of count on the Tiny Spear always being correct, but it's like I want to upgrade my Poppy sometime, right? Just like every time I take the Tiny Shield, I just immediately regret it. But I'm gonna do it here. We got Poppy in hand. It has to be okay, right? I mean, I could technically take it over, technically, as in I should have the technical skills required to continue on the programming, but I don't have the time for that stuff. There's just no way I'd be able to pull that off. Oh man, the Snapjaw Swarm. Oh man, we could have gotten him. Get these Balladeers down. Oh, just the pure shutdown on Lucian. Sorry, friend. Okay, and then is Poppy ever safe enough this turn? It's a little scary of just running her out. I feel a little better if we just wait a turn and hit her with the Prismatic Barrier. So let's get some of this other stuff going. We can start with Owlcat, see what the mana looks like, follow up with Badger Bear. But I mean, these attacks are all fantastic. Uh-oh. Oh, and he hits this time? Must be nice. Must be nice. Alright, well, I mean, I think it's reasonable to get Poppy going now. We can protect her with the Prismatic Barrier here. Ideally, we just go into next, excuse me, go into next turn and be able to protect her that way, but she's not gonna die here, friend. Oh, you're gonna hook her with Lucian? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't approve of that stuff. And these are the spots where I'm like, okay, yeah, it would be nice to put the additional point of health onto Poppy with the tiny shield, but that's going to be a little bit too slow now. Trying to just trade off the Badger Bear. Doesn't seem that great. He can still get his bonus from home. Uh-oh. What? That's not cool. We don't have a way around that. Alright. We'll get you back next turn, Poppy, I assure you. This has to be good, right? He's down to one card in hand. He has to keep throwing away his Snapjaw Swarms. I think we're fine. More of them to hit your lurk again. Still just give me a value block. Okay. Like he had be a little careful. Oh, Jawfish. Ugh. How much is this? Where are these strikes going? How the hell are you supposed to figure this out? The big fish is hitting the Badger Bear. Okay, then the little fish is hitting Shyvana. I guess we can look at the Oracle Eye. Okay. Can just put it right back on top of his deck. This is slightly awkward. I mean, this riposte still just has to be good enough, right? Then we could just kind of wait on these other cards. Not close enough to lethal, I don't think. We'll just call that Jawfish making room for Poppy. That's all that was happening with that. Monkey Idol, okay. Alright, well, I don't think you're going to make it out of this one, Poppy. Well, we could do this, right? This is why we took the tiny shield. Okay, I'm ready now. This has got to make the tiny shield look good. We just mini-morph whatever he hooks in with Poppy. planned it. Alright, then I think we just have to attack. This isn't like super ideal. Like he can just take down Shyvana with some of these other units, but I mean I think we just have to get all the stats going that aren't Poppy. Or that aren't Shyvana. Where does that get us? Hang on. Like if we do this, it's probably just too close to lethal, right? Getting for like 6. And then the other thing is just kind of like, well, what are the chances that we can get a good keeper's verdict in at some point? Like I think this just seems better. Just playing it slow. He's gonna get the hook onto Poppy next turn, which is unfortunate. Maybe I forgot she had permanent vulnerable. Maybe we should have stuck with her. Uh-oh. We can just draw perfect and keep her protected. So this is pretty tempting here to just hammer away the powder monkey. So that has to be his draw. Well, we can do better than that, I think. Pike? Ugh. You gotta gotta let Pike attack so that we can get the death from below. Or don't want him turning into death from below. Okay, so we need to detain out this thing. Protect our Poppy. Take 7 from Pike is fine. Then, if we want to kill them with an open, like he's gonna have 2 blocks, we can just hammer away the monkey idol so he doesn't get the unit. Then we get attacks with everything. Say he blocks Poppy and Shyvana. Then that's 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a little bit short. Well, it's like all of our attacks have been completely horrible. We haven't had much opportunity to get him in here. All right. Well, we'll see if we can't hammer in something next turn. Right, we can't just let him get like massive board ahead of us. But I mean, it is probably reasonable to hammer away the Jawfish now, since he's only going to have like the 1 unit that can strike. I think this is okay. You'll get this good ability. You'll get to strike something for 7. But now the rest of his blockers aren't very good. That works. What's little? Little damage. There we go. That's the stuff. Are we just lethaled here now? What's the big ones? The Poppy and the Shyvana. So we got 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're 1 short. So we need to upgrade our stats on board. Okay. This is +1 damage. That's all we needed. Right? If we overwrite here, that should do it. Oh, I might have missed on something as well. Forget about Shyvana getting this +1/+1 when she attacks. I mean, it could have been. It's just one of these things as to where, like, if it's earlier in the game and we have, like, 2 more units we can put on the board, then it's kind of okay to just slam into that Jawfish. But just having them able to... like keep that fish blocking and over again. But yeah, I missed that. That would have been okay on the previous turn. I thought that Shyvana was going to trade with one of those powder monkeys because she had the 1 health, and I was saying she's going to get up to 2 health from The Jaw Hunt or from the Poppy. I forgot her +1 ability on herself that would have taken her up to 3, and that would have made those attacks look a lot better. But here, this looks good. Picking up these Bandle Commandos is exactly what our curve needs. I throw so much shade at Shyvana over having to play against her so much over the past month and a half. You forget what her abilities do when you don't actually play her. All right. Well, this should be a reasonable start here. Depending on what this deck looks to be doing, the Vanguard is either like super good if they're going to be kind of like the Legion, the Legion Rearguard aggro, and then it's of course doesn't do anything if they're playing the discard fearsomes. But we'll pick up the spear here, give us a way to block those discard fearsomes, hopefully. Oh, he gets the free attack. Sure. Oh. Okay. I guess he realizes his blocks aren't going to be very good. Yeah, I'm not like super sure how I feel about all of the let's just get units on board here. All of the like the Shyvana and action that we've had to deal with over the past few months. To one degree, I think it's really good, right? If they're not going to, kind of like take out or curate some of the older card pools, then I think it's pretty good to see the newer ones, showing up more frequently. I do love that they, boost up your chances of finding the new champions. Not only does it give you the chance to play with the new cards, but it also just kind of like indirectly shakes up the metagame a little bit. So it doesn't just feel like we're playing the same thing over and over. It's just with keeping that, there's kind of like two downsides to it, right? They accidentally kept the bonus on there for way too long, and then they also, I'm not completely sure how I feel about there being just like tons of ribbons and tons of Shyvanas and tons of misfortunes. Um, uh, this is just fine, right? Our guy gets quick attack, and that um, they just it kind of like warps it a little bit, and so I kind of like see how like some of the changes that they did in 2.11 made it kind of feel like that was what they were kind of like setting up for the release of Bandle City. Like it kind of felt like a pre-patch as to where if you're trying to play these discard decks, then that's another place where Reforge is really good. They kind of reworked. What are we doing here? We can play the Dragon Guard and then still make a 3 attack blocker. But then they make our blocker. Okay, but yeah, so it kind of felt like 2.11 was a pre-patch to this, right? There was all the Reforged cards that played well in the discard thing. They kind of like reworked Callista to be kind of the fearsome champion, and then with the release of the two, like the Buru guy and the Sentinel and the Senna card pools, then it's probably pretty good that the fearsomes got reworked a little bit. They were gonna release the Mistwraith card, so seeing those get reworked a bit was nice. But here, these attacks are just too good. We got to get this in before he plays good blockers. But yeah, it was a little unfortunate to have to be in that kind of space where I feel like the Malefic Descent and the Relic Trackers card pools were both like super overtuned. And then just have them stick around for so long was kind of unfortunate. It would have felt like nice if it was like, okay, well, here's the like overtuned versions of these decks, because I really like that they do that. I think it's just so easy for these card pools to be a bust if you don't like put their best foot forward. I think it's best to have us like deal with 2 weeks of an overtuned card pool, and then you know the appearance bonus gets dropped a bit, and so maybe it's not as oppressive because you aren't playing against them as frequently. And then the patch beyond that, then if they need to add cards to a pool to make it less powerful than good. Like I kind of like that whole setup. But I just feel like the overtuned pulls being around for like 100 patches was a bit off. So here, I'm going to go with the Travelers. It's pretty good against his board. We'll see if it makes him discard a Scion or something. But it did. It's just so good here, though. It's able to block his Fearsomes and everything. We need to drop the slow Buster Shot. We only have the one blocker in the Travelers, and I don't really want to lose the Kingpin. Doesn't seem like a super safe place for a dragon, but we can still Buster Shot after we play the dragon, so might be okay. Okay, okay. So there's a good one. There's a good one. There's a good one. Then I don't feel like I really want to trade any of these away, but we're getting to the point to where the Yordle Smith isn't that great anymore. I think this is okay. We should have a better late game than this guy, right? I mean, there's gonna be a combat trick coming down here. Oh no. Oh. Beautiful. Not playing Buster Shot here. Let's just bank this. Gotta be like, it's like there's got to be like a Nox and Guillotine or something coming down. It being Grasp of the Undying is fantastic. Okay. Well, they have the one card, right? All of our, well, I guess now that I think about it, we probably just don't have better late game than Scion, but it feels like something that we should normally have. All right, let's flood the board here. All right, let's see if we regret those things that we just said. I mean, close to lethal here, though. Right? We should just put as much stats on board as we can. He's going to block the 4, and we're going to be a little bit short, but... So, I mean, if we get in for like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's of course not enough. I think the thing here is to just not attack with the Kingpin so we can block Scion next turn and have him not flip. Okay. I mean, I guess we didn't have to block Scion, right? We could just take a 10 hit, but we have enough cards to come out here and just play. We should probably prevent a couple points of damage just to make sure we don't die to a like a weapon hilt or something. Two, and then if we still want a 5 after the fact, we can do it. Okay. So we can still either just like bury your Buster Shot, we can Outcat's Buster Shot, and we can do it all here. Where does that get us? To 3? That's too scary. We gotta get more blocks in. Seven feels a lot better. But let's keep his blocker off the board, right? I think this is good. Then we can follow up with the Buster Shot on the Warmonger. I like it. Hellcat. Buster Shot. And he's gonna block the Kingpin. So we do die to a Whirling Death, which would be a bit awkward. I'll keep the impact alive. Yeah, I was worried about the Bandle Commando because it's our least amount of damage here. We probably should have just blocked with the Bandle Commando. Because now I feel like what's going to happen is we're going to make this attack. these decks always have so many Whirling Deaths, he's just going to come in and Whirling Death the Dragon Guard. I mean, we do have a Prismatic Barrier to hopefully get through it, but yeah, you're right. Having the Commando would be a lot better here. Got a little, got a little greedy on us. I do forget that Commando has impact. I typically just look at him as being the Bandle City Infantry or whatever that card's called out of the elite. But here, this is a reasonable upgrade. The lookout doesn't do anything. Right. All right. See, we do have a better late game than Scion. Just takes that one game to get us there. Okay, so I mean, I think we could do something like this. I would like to find a one or a poppy or something. So let's get rid of the redundant part of our curve. Oh. Uh-oh, getting pranked. The big decisions. You go with the researcher. Okay. Kingpin aggro, here comes. Just get these blockers out of here. Hey, what up, Poppy? Yeah, I would assume that they have some kind of like weird hand that just involves a bunch of like the songstress or whatever the things that just generate out a bunch of units. I would say that this feels like they're just gonna have a lot of one health attackers coming our way. Well, it's getting them elusives down. Vanguard looks good here. Did he ever answer Poppy? I don't think so. I don't think they have Bandle City only removal spells that can deal the damage to her with 4 mana. I guess it would be a Buster Shot. Doesn't have it, but... Our barrier bad. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we're gonna be dropping the aggro dragon chow. Let's just get it down first. Those are the combos there, right? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, my man. That's gonna turn out less than ideal. Alright. Aggro dragon chows. Nice. Uh-oh. Shades Room's bullying people. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. That was just like that was the way that I would take that the like if opponent's gonna come out and take the 1/3, that would be like, well, why would you take the 1/3 and turn it into a 1/1 as opposed to taking the dragon? It would be like, well, they probably have a lot of 1 health units that they're going to try and be attacking with. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just that's the kind of like logic I would take as kind of leveling as to why our opponent would take the 1/3 as opposed to the dragon. Look at that, Shades. You're gonna get banned by the auto mod if you don't watch yourself. Using words like egghead. All right. Well, I can see keeping a Poppy and a Balladeers gets her lined up well for turn 5. All the poppies. Ugh. Okay. All right. So how bad is this going to be if he just drops a poppy on us? It's not that bad. We can riposte her down. She's going to be opening on us though. I mean, we got all the 2/4s in the world to deal with this stuff. As long as there's not a poppy, we have to Buster Shot. Can't let him give all these stats across his board. Okay. Don't think we want to get our poppy going. We gotta get 2 units down. I think I'm okay with like having a kingpin for a turn, but let's start with the Owlcat and see what they do. Like this turn, I really just intend on attacking with the kingpin and with the Badger Bear, so that they can block next turn. I don't know, man. I just turned auto mod on high filters. It's like whenever I started, it was like I knew it was going to be too much for me to handle, like trying to play and talk to people and make sure that people aren't putting a bunch of racist shit in the chat. It's I was like, all right, we'll just put it on high. Whatever, we'll deal with it later. It's not as bad now, but I never turned the setting down or anything. All right. Well, if he doesn't have a second poppy here, we should be okay. Myrtle Smith is awkward. Really don't want to have to detain it, but our blocks just became abysmally bad. Could risk it between playing like a Dragon Guard and a Riposte. We'd look to be taking like 6. I assume he has another unit. It's like we fall so far behind if we take this detain kind of play. We only get to play 1 card. Okay. Sure. Okay. Not horrible, I guess. We got a big ask coming out of this poppy, though. I guess it is good to see that the single combat hit before we try and get this going. Uh-oh. You're not long for this world, are you, Poppy? But if he doesn't have the answer to her, all of our attacks are good except for the Owlcat. And I don't really want to trade here. He's getting bigger boards than us. So you're good. You're good. You're good. Try again next turn. Because it happens every time you play her. Well, I mean, there's two things that happen with Poppy. They either like immediately remove her, or you just immediately win the game. There's not a whole lot going on with her as to where she lets these games really progress. That's probably okay. He can pick apart our board. I'm not super upset about that. The problem here is when he plays the give your team +2/+2 thing. Oh no, you can you can get that shit out of here. That's it. Wow.
Quest will be over quicker than you can fry a ferret.
Right. Did we overwrite the 2/2? Is the if we no, I don't think we do this left or right. If we attack with Poppy will give everything a bonus. Okay. I'd actually rather just have quick attack on everything. I don't want him to get a trade. Okay.
Remember what I told you?
Swing low, send 'em sky high. I'll make you proud.
For the honor of my house.
That doesn't interact with Poppy favorably. Even if she gets megamorphed again, though, we get to just attack. Okay. I mean, that seems good, right? We got a 4/4 and a 5/4 without quick attack, then everything else has it? Sure. The only worry here is if he's going to try and kill us with Bandle Commando. Like, we had the opportunity to play the Swiftling Lancer and take it down. But he needs another boost onto the Commando to be able to kill us.
Cooking with lead.
Might have been a loser, though. I mean, it feels like he's banking up a removal spell, but maybe we should have taken down the Commando while we had the shot, or attempted to take it down.
Oh, if we're taking a break, can I practice a joke?
Okay, well. But I'm glad to see the back-to-back coming down. That's kind of a scary one. We can deal with all this stuff as long as he doesn't have an attack boost onto the Commando. Ooh, play card, play card. Yeah. Dang.
Quest failed. Sorry, hero.
What do we got here? What do we got? Don't really want to get rid of the Balladeers. My only problem here is our early game. So I think we don't want to trade these out for the Shake. We should never have time to play Captain Erika, so we'll skip that. And then Yordle Smith is 2 on theme. Skip over all these. Yo, Poppy Mirror match. Oof. What do we got? We got the old Commando. It's like I'm tempted to just get rid of Egghead Researchers at this point. But well, if we're just gonna if we're just gonna draw more. It's meant to be. They're here for a reason. No, they can come down and shut down his Ruin Runner kind of cards if we just need to slam something out. Doing emotes? Cupcake it, my man. It's like the protege is always interesting. Connected Jarvan action. What's his play? I mean, it is pretty bad if we add the protege, then he just adds a merciless hunter. So let's at least add the unit that can combat the 3/3s here.
Arda's gonna make a meal
Sure.
of 'em. This one's a fighter.
Works for me. Alright, so we can either get 2/2s down or the Balladeers in a 1. I think I want to get the Balladeers in the 1. We can at least shut down both of his 3/3s. Then hopefully we get started in with the Screeching Dragon next turn. Much aggressive. Sure. So that's one way to take down a 2/4. It's like I think I just want to keep playing more dudes. It's pretty easy for the Screeching Dragon to get blanked here, but if he plays like a big unit, like if he plays a 5/5 Bruiser or something, then we still have good attacks with the Commando and the Protege. I like this. I kind of like the Screeching Dragon to get set up for a turn to where we can riposte.
Serving lead.
More Shaped Stones, you got it. Definitely glad to see all these combat tricks go before we try to make a dragon or a riposte play.
Take everything.
Alright, let's get it all set up. And a Cataclysm, one of our one of our Owlcats. Oh, that's so scary when he's just not adding anything to the board. Let's just bank into the next turn.
Asking about dragons, I just may have an answer.
Doesn't look like much.
I'm suspect. I feel like there's a Cataclysm on our way. We can at least riposte through it this turn now.
I have the scars to prove it. A Demacian soldier is worth 10 bows.
Interesting.
Let's cook 'em.
Renekton's here. I don't think we want to detain. I mean, I think we can get him next turn. Kind of thinking of just adding the Viper Worm to clean up our board a little bit. We're about to run into issues with our board being too stacked, but we do have a Dragon Guard in hand if we want to go for the double. Well, I don't think that's necessary. It's just a little bit too slow.
Seen tombs, towns, and everything in between.
This is 9 mana. Still play a 2. Play a 3 if we wanted, right? No. Let me get this bust math going real quick. We cannot play a 3.
Stand strong.
Okay. This is the big one. Oop. And we want to detain Renekton, so we aren't taking those sweet overwhelms. As far as these other ones go, I mean, we probably ought to just like prevent from the Ruin Runner Like, I think if this game goes long, we just win every time, but... Yeah, this is good enough. Fall to 7. We're only going to be preventing 3 damage out of that. Okay. They fixed the visual bug with the Viper where it just disappears. That was ultra awkward whenever that was going about. All right, I don't think we have to open here. We can get the Vanguard down. This should make all of our attacks okay. Doesn't let us Keeper's Verdict that Renekton if we want, but he wasn't too scary to begin with. Really? Okay.
Meet them head on.
So we just got Renekton and one more card, then he'll get to probably do the card draw off the Palace. Grand Plaza. Well, you're gonna we can Keeper's Verdict him away for a turn. Yeah, that owl is a landmark, but he's a good landmark though. He's got that spell shield to keep that big unit locked away. What up, Adzio? The landmark is a plaza. The plaza is a landmark. Get that backwards. Uh-oh. Well, I guess I see what you're saying about the plaza now. Yeah, this Owlcat's gonna fall. I mean, we can at least make him try to do this with Renekton. Renekton's gonna be a 7 attack into our 1 health, so we'd be alive by 1. I think that's probably as good as it's gonna get. Yeah, we might be a little bit too far behind on this one.
They told me to keep this one, but I like you.
Okay.
Cut you a deal.
Dispel shield. All right. Well, this is a little worrisome. Not gonna lie. Let's go ahead and throw everything down in case. I think we're just gonna be open attacking here, right? We're gonna hook his Profiteer with our bird. The only downside here is we don't really want to attack with the Dragon Guard, so that we can throw it in front of Renekton if we need to. But I mean, he's just gonna get hooks all over the place if that's what he wants. Okay. Take him to 8. Yeah, I'm afraid we're gonna be a little bit short in the face of the plaza and an overwhelm. Would you play that now? Oh, do you have the Cataclysm? Oh, okay. Alright, Poppy, get us out of this. And a War Chef. Okay, we can block everything here as it stands. Oh, he's not going to scout attack us? Cool. There you go. He realized his unit had scout. Is it worth to just go ahead and throw the Kingpin in front? We have to block, right? He kills us with the Overwhelm with Renekton. We can't just take it. I think that's good. So now if he wants to hook something... Well, I guess he's going to have the hook on Vandal Commandos with his War Chefs. Alright, Owls, do your thing. Alright, that could have been worse.
Wouldn't be a quest without some danger.
Something cool. Keeper's Verdict is kind of cool, but we're gonna have to open on this one.
Can you stomach this?
Okay. Doing your thing, Poppy. Alright, alright. So this is where we get the Keeper's Verdict a unit away. Oh, and a mini-morph? Interesting. Gonna get that out of here. No, thank you.
Remember to roll.
Still short on lethal, but...
I get the guards, Bob gets the goods.
Okay.
Knuckle time.
Alright, we can do it. We're still okay. He can't boost his Badger Bear, he doesn't have any cards. Alright, game. Alright, game. Give us the tools we need. So he's definitely drawn that 6-4 here. Poppy. I mean... So what happens? It's like we either just pass, and then we can see what they do. I think we just pass. This attack isn't that great. Or would we at least like want to trade off Poppy into one of these, and then we can replay Poppy? I think that's where it's at. Maybe you'll just take it. Okay.
I just know the hero's around here somewhere.
Alright, game. Give us something cool. That's cool. Alrighty, that gives us a really good turn here. I think that was the cool stuff that we needed. You expensive Jarvan. The thing that coming out of their deck would be like the -2. I think we just open. There it is. There it is. Oof. That's the stuff right there.
Get me next time.
Not falling that easy. Alright, alright. Well, I'm not excited about Yordles in arms, but Mobilize is definitely bad. So, nice little pickup. I've kind of haven't decided how I feel about Yordles in arms. Like these decks, like with this Poppy deck, it's typically easier to be like much lower to the ground, but you end up with these boards where it's just like completely full, and you need a way to end the game. And you typically don't want to be doing that with a spell like for Demacia, but it's just kind of like the best option that we have at the current point in time. So, I'm kind of like growing into acceptance that one, but all right. And then we're up against what I'm assured is a darkness deck, so we want to be as aggressive as we can here. Thank you for not losing. I didn't want to start my stream. I was gonna ask you if you were gonna stream today. I'll send that host your way as whenever we're done here. But give you a chance to go eat a breakfast burrito and get your coffee in. What up, Buru? So, I mean, we can make a blocker for the fearsome. I think I'm just more interested in putting the +1 attack on Delarant Protege. Let's go ahead and run it down though. And I think it's probably worth an open. Like adding one of these +2 attack units isn't that big of a deal, but this is a turn where I could see the prismatic barrier being super important if he's going to try and put a removal spell on one of our units to the left to make Buru a 5/4. We're going to want to barrier that out. Cool. Seems good for us. Let's add the Dragon Guard. There's definitely a world here where we're going to get a Screeching Dragon or an Envious Vox Fury. Guess there's a world where he doesn't darkness us. This feels a little greedy adding the dragon here before he plays cards, but I would assume his play is just going to be darkness onto the Protege and then a pass. Alright, and then I think this is okay. As long as we hang on to onto Prismatic Barrier mana here, I think this is fine. So let's add the Balladeer. It'd be pretty obvious we've got a barrier when we play it out like this, but I think it's okay. Can't barrier through that. Alright, we gotta start banking up some amount of mana for this stuff. Okay. Assume he's gonna start hitting us with the Ixtali healer or whatever that thing's called. Well, you're safe. Oh dear. It's pretty tough for us to get good attacks here, but like I think we got to try and do something to get ahead. He's got that. If he's got like the Senna strike, then it's pretty abysmal for us. But if we're able to start attacking, I think we're fine. What the F is this one? Create a darkness. If you don't have one, your next darkness costs 0 and deals 2 to everything. Okay. Oh, hang on, that doesn't work. You're not getting the double strike in. Oh, this is awkward. All right. Gotta do something like this. He's gonna take a bit of damage, but then we can try and take her down next turn. Has to be done this turn, right? Your next darkness this round. Yeah. Okay. Oh, so does that hit for 2 and then AOE our team? Costs 0 and deals 2 to all enemies. It just doesn't. Yeah, you hit our Dragon Guard and then hit everything for 2. Back LOR Guardian. There we are. One time, dealer. One time. You gotta work for us here. Gotta take him up to 6 health to survive the piercing darkness. It's gonna happen. Opponent's saying, oh noes. Oh noes. Cadrigen? Okay. I think we're in a spot where we probably just have to open next turn. So let's at least add the Yordle Smith here. There's a good chance he can't play any more cards, given how weird his kind of like Spirit Leech plays were. We should just have a good attack next turn. Still have a good open next turn. But I mean, yeah, he's at 20. Maybe it's not as good as I thought. He didn't kill the Dragon Guard last round. Yeah, he did. We just had 2 on the board.
Remember what I told you?
Swing low, send 'em sky high. I'll make you proud.
Alright, well here come all these units. there's no getting around that. These have to attack now. We're gonna lose Poppy to the Acolyte, but gotta get something going.
Hopeless, honestly.
Yeah, I was ready for the monster stats. I was gonna get all hyped for all the stats we were about to get, but it didn't come across.
Walk the fabric.
Yeah, those are some cheap darknesses. Okay. We'll just stop here.
Mind's a wonder!
Sure. What your darkness is doing now? 3? It's pretty scary. Alright, well this gives him the perfect opportunity to take down Cadrigen, but I think that's fine. So if he spends all his mana on him, and we just get to go wide here, kind of okay with it.
Finally, an audience with taste.
Sing with the darkness in your
Okay.
heart.
Damn. Alright, well, where does that get us? These attacks don't look that good anymore without a Poppy. Right? If we hit with everything, he's got the 3-1 on a 3-3, a 3-4 on a 3-3, 2-3 on a 2-1, then the 3-2. Yeah, these attacks are too bad. I think this game's just done. I'm just going to go ahead and save us some time and move on from this one. Okay. Alright, so what are we getting here? I do kind of like the double tap for the Arena Kingpin. Just such a slow removal spell, and we have a ton of these Keeper's Verdicts, so we can kind of deal with something big if we need to. So let's pick up the aggressive unit here. 1 second, I'll be right back. Alright, alright. A lot of these Bandle City cards are too good for Expedition. Which one? Can't. I think they're okay. Like, I worry about, like, the strength of something like Poppy, since, she really abuses anything non-interactive, but I don't think I've ran into too much where I was like, oh dang, that's like critically oppressive. This Mono Noxus, the Riven and Scion. Okay. It's like we're about to get nugged for 5. Change your mind. Okay. Alright, guy. I think this is okay. I mean, the commandos work nicely here. Just give us a lot of weight. The blockers from the Outcasts are just fantastic against these stacks. Makes life hard on a Legion rearguard. Okay.
Battle be Mustang with. Oh dear.
Boop. Where's that Poppy at now? Alright, so I mean, we're gonna just like flood the board with units. I think we're fine to just slam into this Iron Ballista. So let's get a little bit more going. We're gonna play a 1, a 2, and a 2. And we'll give something +1 attack.
I keep step with the heartbeat of Noxus.
Legion Drummer, and what you want to be doing here.
Get a work with that hammer I gave you.
I traded it for this way cooler one. I need to.
I can't block.
Yeah, an even bigger weapon.
Alright, enjoy.
Swing harder.
Alright, we're getting stuff done. it's not that bad. Are we good to just go ahead and send this Tusk Raider to the Netherworld? Well, we can just detain it, right? That seems like the ideal way to go about this. Gives a quick attack hook onto the Smith, yeah. I mean, and realistically, we could just ignore it if we want. He has 2 units that can't block. This is happening 100%. We're going to be a little bit short of actually killing him, though. And I don't think we can risk the commando. Well, we could just play a barrier this turn, right? Like if we want to come down here, we can do it. Taking 10 is okay. We can also just like Prismatic Barrier our Yordle Smith. I think we're just going to be like short on lethal. Like if we do this barrier here, it's going to have 1, 2, or he's going to have 2 blockers. We do it. Okay. Oh gosh, we're gonna run out of time. No, no, that was the worst thing that could happen. I wanted to barrier the Yordle Smith. F. Okay. Well, this is our new plan. Mini morph. I think that's okay. that was brutal not getting the barrier off in time. I gotta go work on my APN. I think we just have to let this happen. We have to protect our Owlcat with the barrier next turn. Just hammered the elephant back. The problem with that was we didn't get to we got to play extra cards by not spending all of our mana on the Keeper's Verdict. They discarded a Fallen Rider, so he's got the big Risen Rider in hand. We can take a hit from it, but can't block all of this stuff. I guess we can do this. We can Keeper's Verdict away the 6/5. Then if he adds the 4/2, we can add Dragon. We do lose the Owlcat in this way, but Basilisk Rider. Oh, he still gets to add the Risen Rider. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I thought Quick Attack seems a little better on like Basilisk Rider. Okay. Comes the hook onto Dragon. Now we gotta take. We can't block the 4. I think we're just dead here. Nope. Go to 1. All right. Serve us up something choice, game. we need a good one. This is it. This is it. We're gonna get the big winner here. Poppy, you are a winner, but I don't think you're the big winner here.
We are forged in war. No one will remember you.
Alright, what else can we top deck to stop this open? I think it's time to get your stream ready, Shades. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Alright. That's too bad. I'd like to see how that turned out if we got to protect our Yordle Smith there. That was just a little bit too slow. I didn't come up with the math problem fast enough if we were going to be able to get a lethal in against his no blockers with the open. I think I still like that the Yordle Smith Prismatic Barrier and the Detain kind of things a little bit more than like not hammering their unit back to the top is like a big tempo play, but I don't think it's like a winner. It seems like a stall the game out, don't lose game, whereas we need to be getting a game winner. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today. Nice little 2 hours of expedition. I'll probably still try to put a YouTube video together later, but I gotta do some adult